Welcome class. This is TED Talk number 3. We're going to be talking about habits 4 and 5. So habit 4, we're going to talk about win-win. Now, when you think win-win, there's only one win that comes to mind, right?
Good start. It's a good start.
It's a great start.
Yeah, it's the first win.
But
that we can claim to be completely original, which excites me, which puts me in the zone of winning. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what? Let's just do it. Let's meet this thing head on. And you were in it to win it.
All right, so that's what you think of when you think win-win, right? Well, what Covey was actually going for was that thinking win-win is more than just a mindset of winning, but actually enabling those things through collaboration, building meaningful relationships, and putting an emphasis on cooperation over competitiveness in one's life. A couple of the ways that Covey goes through these things are really working on your self-development. Integrity, maturity, and abundance mentality are 3 of the things he goes through, and we're going to go through those now just to give you more of a concept of what thinking win-win really means when you're trying to implement that strategy. So one of the ways that Covey says we can implement our lives more into a personal development of win-win is through integrity. Now, integrity is sticking to your guts, being to remain with your true feelings despite conflict. You're not compromising your own belief system to get yourself to another place, and you're not doing that for someone else either. The second issue we have is that of maturity. Now, maturity. Maturity is the courage and consideration when you're working with others. You have the courage in order to express yourself, to get your ideas out there, to work with others and not be afraid to say what you need to say. But you're also considerate enough to let them do the same. You want to work at a compromise. This is all about cooperation and compromise and being able to find a balance. That's the only way you're going to end up in a win-win. Covey really emphasizes one last aspect for the habit of win-win for you to be successful in enacting this habit, and that is abundance mentality. Abundance mentality is the idea that there's enough winning to go around. What Covey argues is that if we all have a think win-win mentality, that's not necessarily the case. That there's enough winning for everyone. As long as we try to find those balances in our relationships. So that means having courage and consideration, being empathetic but confident, being considerate and sensitive, and then being brave. So transitioning right along, our 5th habit that Covey covers is seek first to understand and then to be understood. Covey describes how oftentimes we'll be in conversations. You'll be talking to, say, your best friend. They're telling you a story. And instead of listening to their trip about going to North Carolina, you're getting a little off track. You're up here. You're thinking, oh, what do I gotta do to eat today? Oh, I have to tell them this. And you don't understand or know entirely what they said. So what Covey argues here is that what we really need to do is seek first to understand and then to be understood ourselves instead of vice versa. Covey describes how we oftentimes, in response to other people, make it about us. We evaluate the situation, we probe, we advise, and we interpret. Those are his 4 key points. But we're not always engaging with others the way we act, the way we should. So what Covey encourages us to do is to empathize with others, to really focus on what they're saying so that we're really processing the information, so that we're getting the most out of that conversation with others. This builds off of the win-win in that you want to build those character-basis relationships so that when you are in the workplace or even in your personal life, that's really a fundamental you can fall back on. So my question to you guys today is, how are you transforming yourself from thinking win-lose to win-win?